Welcome to Chi-Town Lowdown, everyone. It's great to have you back with us this week. Week 16, picks against the spread coming up. But first, like and subscribe to the page. Go to X, follow us there, Chi-Town_Lowdown. Check out our lock picks. I think we did pretty good last week. I didn't get mine, but
got mine.
Luke didn't get his. He picked
got mine.
A couple of these guys over here, though.
I'm on a 3. Just so everybody knows, I really went off last week, and if you want any good bets on the games,
Tom, I was just getting to that, actually. Yeah. So last week, Tom went 12 for 16 on picks.
I did.
Wargo went 11 for 16. I went 8. I got 8 of them. Luke got 7. Season totals now. Tom's at 131 for 219, just under 60%, right? This is unheard of. It's not supposed to happen.
Elite.
So listen up. Luke's at 127, falling behind a little bit after Tom's big week. I am at 112, and Wargo's at 111. So we kind of got two different categories going on here. We got good pickers down below, and then me and Wargo pretty bad. So
the shit bowl going on.
We're going to pick 19 games on this video because we typically record on Wednesdays. Next Wednesday is, of course, Christmas. We hope you spend Christmas with your families, have a great time, and we'll be back with you.
You know what? I keep getting stuck. It's stuck in my head. Jingle bells. You know that song?
Yeah.
Okay. Just stuck in your head.
Donde es Santa Claus? That one slaps. I love that commercial.
Is that Feliz Navidad?
No, it's some other song. I think it's like a Samsung commercial or something, or like T-Mobile. Donde es Santa Claus? You don't know this one? Are you serious? Damn. All right. Well, when you hear it kind of slaps.
I will keep my ears open. But yeah, 19 games. So we're just going to go ahead and kick it off because this is going to take a little bit. First game tomorrow night, playoff implications. Denver at the Los Angeles Chargers, -2.5 points. So with this one here, Denver cannot lose, or I'm sorry, they can lose, but if they continue to, if they win this one, I think they lock up their playoff spot.
Wait, what did Big Al go last week? Sorry,
not sure. We didn't get all of his picks because he joined about halfway.
Okay, cool.
But he did fairly well. His best bet, obviously, was his lock pick on Buffalo, which he made a call for that Buffalo on the money line, and they, of course, did win that game. So that was a great pick by Al, and it was good to have him on. But coming back to this Thursday night game, Chargers favored at home here. Denver needing a win to secure the playoff spot. I like the Chargers in this game, though. I think they've been struggling a little bit recently, but with them being at home, I think they're going to get the better of Denver here. So I'm going to go ahead and take them in this divisional matchup.
Give me Denver. I'm going against Jesse here. Another loser franchise like the Bears, crumbling upon themselves. Can't help but to just squander it away just by having a
Did the Bears recap get you down? It just
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm down.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry. Go
it needless to say, I'm with Denver here.
I'm gonna go Chargers. Although they haven't played. I mean, they played the Falcons. It was a close game that they won. But the last two teams, who did they play the last 2 weeks? I don't know. They just haven't played a lot of competition, and they're losing. Or they're in
Chiefs and the Bucks. They lost the last 2 games.
Bucks are a good team. Bucks are a good team.
Chiefs, not really that good.
Haven't scored 30 points yet this year.
The thing with the Chargers is their defense. You know, I thought it was elite in the beginning of the year, and now it seems like they're losing steam a bit. That's a bit concerning, especially against this Bo Nix offense that, you know, good and bad. I mean, he had 3 picks last week, but I see him coming back here. But I think that is Justin Herbert playing? I know he got banged up.
He's got to be playing. I don't think they'd be favored in this game if he weren't.
Oh man, what's the spread? What's the spread? Sorry,
2.5.
Getting it out early this week. I love that action. Normally I have to wait on the edge of my seat for you to ask.
Yeah, I'll ask every time for you, Coach Ward. I'm gonna go Broncos. I'm gonna switch.
Switch. Wargo.
The old Tom switcheroo.
He's just switched to the Broncos, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, I don't know, man.
Of the Chargers.
Just think Chargers at home. I know we kind of talk about, you know, maybe not the most electric home environment to play at, but they've got Jim Harbaugh. I think Jim Harbaugh might be a better coach than Sean Payton.
Is Jim Harbaugh out there playing, though, is the thing. He could be.
Bo Nix is, and he's a dick, right?
Yeah. What the heck, Tom?
He's a little asshole.
Well, the thing is with the Chargers, also, they don't have a run game right now. They don't. And that's what, like, ever since J.K. Dobbins went down, it's been a concerning team to pick every week. So I got to go with the hotter hand in this case for me is the Broncos.
No, you bring up a great point. I mean, the Chargers are very depleted in the backfield. Like Gus Edwards is just not a good running back. I think Al spoke to that a little bit last week as well. And yeah, I feel like that will remain to be the case this week. You know what? Gosh, it's tough. Yeah, I'll stick with the Chargers. I'm going to fade myself here because I want to pick the Broncos, and I'm an idiot. So
yeah,
Chargers.
Tough one. Tough one.
Love that. Love that logic. Next game. So we got a couple games on Saturday this week, and the 4 teams playing on Saturday are also the 4 teams playing on Christmas.
Is there college football on Saturday?
Don't know.
NFL, man.
There might not be.
I know they play Friday.
Yes.
But I think they play Saturday.
Yeah. So Houston at Kansas City, -3 right now.
Damn. We're missing James Madison at Western Kentucky in college football.
Damn.
Boca Raton Bowl.
Memphis last night was nice.
Yeah, so Houston, KC. I had taken KC last week to kind of win a game a little more decidedly than they have in recent weeks and quite frankly all year. And they managed to pull through for me against the Browns. Just a little more stout competition this week with Houston. I think I'm going to go with – is Al-Shaair back?
Al-Shaair.
He's still suspended.
I feel like no. It was 4 games, right?
Yeah.
Still suspended.
Yeah.
Damn.
Sorry, bud. You little dick. I like that he apologized, though. I feel like it means a lot because he is a repeat offender, so he's definitely going to change.
It was a 3-game suspension, right? And they've only played 1 game since the Jags.
That was a 4-game suspension, but either way.
Either way, he's out.
Stay in City here. I think they're going to finish strong here at the end of the year. Anytime I see Patrick Mahomes limping like he did at the end of that game last week, I think he's got a high ankle right now. It's all ploy. It's not real. He's just trying to He's trying to get us to go the other way, and I won't do it. I'm taking Kansas City minus 3.5.
I'm not. I'm taking Houston. Kansas City has had a tough time covering the spread this year. I think that continues. Even though they covered against Cleveland last week, they had failed to cover in the previous 7 games prior to that. And I think there's a little bit more to this injury than what Luke is saying, and I think the front 7 from Houston is pretty tough. So I'm gonna go with them.
Works? Who you got?
Yeah, I do like Luke's school of thought there. Houston's just a very good team. Is
Are
Mixon's expected to go?
Yes.
And Nico Collins, and Stroud have been playing quite well together since he's been back. So yeah, I feel like Texans might win this outright, but I'll take the points.
So you're on the Texans? I don't get. Never mind. That was a stupid thought. I'm not gonna say it.
Texans are getting plus 3.5. So I said they could win the game outright, but I'll take the 3.5.
So you're gonna go? Okay, I got you.
Yeah. You had it. You had it.
Yeah. You got me rolling. Yeah, I think
got me rolling.
Jesse, you make a good point about the spread. I know Chiefs, they can't score necessarily like they have in the past. Texans, kind of up and down a little bit. We've seen some good defensive play from them, and then offensively, I think they're still trying to get on the same page with Nico Collins being out and him coming back. Joe Mixon couldn't run the ball last week for some reason, so that's a little bit concerning. I'm just going to place this based on coaching and Kansas City being at home.
So Houston?
Kansas City.
All right, first 2 games, the good pickers are picking together and the bad pickers are picking together. That's good.
Luke, who'd you pick?
I'm on Kansas City as well.
Nice.
Next game, Saturday afternoon, 3:30, Pittsburgh at Baltimore minus 6 points.
Pittsburgh at Baltimore?
Yeah.
Yeah, give me Pittsburgh. I want to pick Baltimore, but there's someone over here saying defense is gonna show up for Pittsburgh in this divisional matchup. I still think Baltimore is gonna win the game, but I think it's gonna be closer than that.
Anybody know the extent of T.J. Watt's injury?
Shoot, I didn't realize that.
He's questionable.
His ankle.
I'm looking into it now.
Yeah, and I think George Pickens is still questionable as well. Arguably the best players on each side of the ball for Pittsburgh. I've been so back and forth in terms of kind of who I like out of the AFC all year. It's been tough with kind of the ups and downs that we've seen since mid-season, and for a while there, I was fully on board with Pittsburgh, and I expected them to put up a little bit more of a fight than they did last week against a real Super Bowl contender in Philly out of the NFC, and they just didn't look like they were on the same level in terms of competency. So I still like Pittsburgh to be dangerous, but at 10-4, with Baltimore seeing this as an opportunity to just draw neck and neck with them in that division at the end of the year, and then some of the injury stuff that we had just talked about, I think I like Baltimore here at home at this point.
Yeah, I'll agree with you there. I feel like we were talking about with like the Detroit hangover game, it's going to be a bit of the opposite after they just rolled the Giants, where just a lot of positive momentum going there. Individual stat lines really aren't that crazy for having 35 points. So I guess kind of struggling to find where those numbers came from. But Rashad Bateman, Zay Flowers, Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson. I just like saying names, talented players. I do think TJ Watt's going to go, but yeah, I think Ravens at home, that's going to be a pretty stout offering there. So basically coming off a week of rest.
AFC North, guys. First time these teams played this year, it was a real muck show. They really mucked each other up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Pittsburgh. Some interesting betting trends. Money line bets, 14% on Pittsburgh, 44% of the money. I'm taking Pittsburgh. Next game, now we're on to noon Sunday. Detroit at Chicago.
Those were all Saturday games?
Yep.
Nice.
Well, there's Thursday night and then the 2 Saturday games.
Right.
Detroit at Chicago plus 6.5 points. Not going to spend too much time on this one. I'm going to take Chicago.
Hell yeah, buddy.
You're crazy.
I can't pick Chicago anymore. It's like I just picked Chicago because it's my team, and I don't believe in my team right now. I don't.
That's exactly why they're going to cover.
You know, we say this every dang week, and they just let me down. And I didn't get this out on the Bears recap. It's just, now
you're going to be double let down because you picked the other team and they're going to cover.
You know what? I'll be rooting for the Bears as a true Bears fan, and I want them to play well. But, even a depleted –
I hope they cover, but they lose, to be fair.
A depleted Lions team, they're playing at home, the Bears are. So that's one, thing that's maybe making me want to pick them. But the Lions they need wins now for that number one spot, and I think Dan Campbell's going to have them fired up. Underdogs. They're going to be like, we're underdogs. We're underdogs. Because they're so hurt. Everybody's talking about how they're not Super Bowl contenders because they're hurt, and Dan Campbell's going to feed off of that. And they're going to come out, hit us in the mouth because we have nothing to play for.
The public is heavily in favor of the Lions on the spread, 83% of the money coming on the Lions.
Montgomery being out hurts, but Gibbs
I'm
is
on the
good.
Lions.
Yeah. The Gibbs will be able to shred our defense just the same as Montgomery will.
Yeah.
That's no problem.
Right.
Yeah, I'm very tempted to pick the Bears here. I feel like the very obvious pick is the Lions, as denoted by the percentage of money on the money line for the Lions, as well as the spread. It's not much different, but 99% of the money, 94% of the bets are on the Lions. And I've said it before, Vegas has tall buildings for a reason. What's funny, Jesse?
The fact that 99% of the money on the money line is coming in on the Lions.
Yeah, we're gonna fade that.
Everybody can see that our offense
You're taking the Bears?
Why do you say it like that, Luke? I feel like now I'm starting to doubt myself. I just had a great
Morgo, they have big buildings for a reason, right?
Yeah, they have big buildings.
That's right.
Don't, be confident.
I'm going to swim in
All right.
Jesse's wake here. Vegas has big buildings.
Good.
Nailed it.
If a
Next
building
game.
were to fall.
Cleveland at Cincinnati minus 7.5.
Cleveland at Cincinnati.
Yeah.
All right. Are we going to get a backup QB bump? No way.
I'm taking Cincinnati here. Joe Burrow cannot be pleased. I mean, this guy is just going through right now with all the stuff that's happening off the field. And, home invasion is scary enough. It sounds like not only was it home invasion, it's kind of this look into his private life, which he really just does not seem like the guy who wants that. He doesn't. He just wants to stay behind the scenes, ball on the field, and just not have any sort of attention brought to him outside of that. And I feel like he's just pissed off. Like there was the clip of Zach Taylor talking to him in the fourth quarter last week, and there's been a couple videos of people kind of trying to read lips and what that conversation was what was being said between the two. And really the gist of it seemed like Burrow is just, again, cannot be satisfied with the way that it's playing currently. He looked like he felt that they should have been beating the Titans by even more. And I mean, he's got a point. They only won by 10 points against the Titans. But I think the Browns are going the wrong way right now. And I still think that there's like last week it was 2% in terms of chance for the Bengals to make the playoffs. So I'm assuming it's still in that same ballpark. It probably has not increased a lot, but doing their part in winning these games. What's that?
3% now.
They need some people to lose.
Yeah.
They need Denver to lose out.
Yeah, I'm going Bengals again.
I don't buy into this whole I'm Joe Burrow and I like my privacy thing, because look at his fashion.
That's different. That's different.
It's not different. He's walking in. He wants the eyeballs to be on him.
Yeah, at the stadium.
Yeah.
He's playing football. That's part of it.
That's a character, dude. And he's just going into character doing a.
He goes home. He's like, "Don't mess with me."
Yeah.
I'm taking the Bengals, but I don't buy that.
Joe and I are really close.
I think he's just
a cool
like
guy.
somebody shit in his Wheaties, or whatever the saying is.
He's having the best year of his career, and his team is just not playing for him.
The defense is so bad.
So bad. So I'm going to go with the Bengals as well. Joe Burrow's a dog, and he's going to, I don't know.
Don't like this line, frankly. 7.5 scares me a little bit, and divisional matchup, AFC North, guys. Okay.
I think they're going to win by 10 at home.
Did the Bengals cover in the first matchup between these two teams?
Yes. Tom, were you on Baltimore or Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh. Although I'm questioning that. Something's not sitting right in my gut for that, but I had until the end of this pod to decide.
Yeah.
Tom, I'm there with you, dude. All right, let's hang in there.
Yeah, I want to pick against DTR kind of, but that might backfire. Myles Garrett is very good. I don't know. I know the Browns have kind of had Cincinnati's number in the past. Yeah, they did not cover previously in October when they played. I'm going to pick the Browns to cover. I mean, 7.5, that is quite a few points.
It's not a bad pick, to be honest. 7.5 is weird.
Didn't Bengals lose their defensive end? That's a stud.
Stud? He can't be a stud on the Bengals defense.
I don't see him on the impact player injuries.
You know who I'm talking about, though? The big white dude.
I do.
Was a DNP today due to a knee.
Sam Hubbard.
Hubbard's not even that good. Hendrickson's the good one.
That's the one I'm thinking of, yeah.
Hubbard's not bad.
Yeah, I'll take the Browns.
He can catch a touchdown pass.
Yeah.
He can't get a sack. All right, so you're taking the Browns. Okay.
Yeah, they're –
all right. Philly at Washington plus 3.5.
Wow. I thought this would be a little bit bigger of a line, to be honest.
Yeah, so did I.
Uh-huh.
So did I.
This is the divisional game. Well, I'm trying to do a thing where, like, I don't pick the people that played well last week because they always just let me down, it seems, most of the time.
Yeah.
It's a good strategy. Washington How much did they win by last week? They won pretty handedly, right?
They won by a point against the Saints. 1 point.
Yeah, they didn't cover. We all.
But
picked them
they
to
started
cover.
off hot, and it was not a game until the end.
Yep.
Philadelphia is just a better team. I just can't get behind this Washington talk. With Jaden, and they're a good team, but they're not complete in my opinion. Whereas this Philadelphia Eagles team is hitting on all cylinders right now, and I think Saquon's going to have a big day. And for that reason, I think they're going to win by a touchdown maybe. More than 3. The line, if it was a little bit bigger of a line, I think I would pick Washington.
Yeah, I'm on Philly too. I don't see it for Washington. Philly's tough. I think it could be close to the end, but Philly's going to eat up some clock, score late, and cover here. So I'll give me Philly.
They're both wanting to win here too.
The door is now wide open for Philly to steal the 1 seed in the NFC. With everything that's going on with Detroit and all the injuries there, obviously record-wise, they are now tied up for that 1 spot. I don't know I think Detroit is at this time still the 1 seed in the NFC. I think most people would say with where the rosters are currently with the injuries that Detroit's dealing with, Philly's probably the favorite to get this here at the end of the year. And division game for them, I like where they're at here, so I'll take Philly.
Morgs, it seems like you're picking last a lot, huh? What's that about?
Yeah, you guys are just a bunch of freaking chomping at the bit out here. I don't know.
Why are you wearing green, by the way?
Like CSU. I don't know. It's a little quarter zip.
We're both wearing Under Armour, unofficial sponsor. Sorry, go on.
No, I am sponsored by Under Armour, but that's cool. So, yeah, Commanders do have a pretty good chance of making the playoffs here. 89, 91, a couple different numbers I'm seeing, 90. I don't want to say that they're going to take the foot off the gas, but like Luke was saying, Eagles, they look really good. They're kind of just like clowning with the media at this point, which is crazy. Where it's just like, yeah, like you guys think we can't pass the ball? Like we just threw for 700 yards. So the fact that they're more at war with the media than they are with their opponents, and they're like, it just seems like they're playing backyard football out there. It's crazy. So Washington, they had a great run this year. They're going to, like we said, probably go to the playoffs, but they're not going to cover against the Eagles here. So
quick note about the Eagles. Isn't it like weird that they're having such a good year and it's like their coach is kind of crazy. They're having all these off the field type situations. Mm-hmm. Their fans are crazy. I don't know. Just like
kind of dig it.
That means they're good. That means they're good, right? They're overcoming all this, and
yeah, Sirianni's a psycho, but
he's a player's coach apparently.
What do we got next?
LA Rams at New York Jets. LA Rams at New York Jets plus 3.5.
Goddamn. What is Vegas thinking, guys? I don't understand. They're not lining up with my thinking of lines.
Well, you think the Rams? What is your thinking?
Is it because Aaron Rodgers put up 30 points and he's freaking excited about it? I just don't understand. The Rams are playing much better than the Jets, right? The Jets beat the Jaguars last week. And they're like, oh my gosh, they're so good now again.
All valid points.
Are they? We're going to go. Who are you doing?
Yeah, no, I'm going to be on the Jets here. I don't think it makes any sense, but Aaron Rodgers, he got back into the spotlight last week and he missed it. He forgot what it was like to be talked about in a positive light because he was just in the darkness. So he's probably like watching a lot of videos of himself and stuff, feeling it a little bit. So
okay.
Yeah, I think they're going to go off Wilson, Rodgers, Adams again. Man, Rams are completely healthy with Nakua and Kyron.
They've been completely healthy, and they're not doing as much as I would like after that. Like the Bills game was good, but now like the next week, it's like, where are you?
I'm stupid. I don't know, man. Yeah, I think I am dumb. I'm gonna stick with the Jets. That's crazy.
You're wearing green.
Kelly Green.
You look like that's true.
I think I was the only one on the Jets last week. Maybe me and Ward.
Ride them. Let's ride them.
We were all on the Jets except for Tom and Al.
Okay.
The goddamn Jets, dude.
I had a bad beginning.
That game last week between Aaron Rodgers and Mac Jones, like the battle of like the two most unlikable human beings on the planet. Mac Jones was doing stuff. We watched that game at Jesse's house. He was
apparently that's the Rizzler.
Oh, that's what that is.
What is it?
Okay.
Sorry.
He's an idiot. I hate that guy. But we're not picking Jets game right now. We're picking Jets game. And I like the Rams as a team. I think their defense is frisky. Obviously, offense is loaded with weapons right now. Hopefully, Cooper Kupp can get a catch this week. That would be helpful to me. Last week, I overcame and took down the slimy, disgusting dragon that is Carr for everybody in the league. So you're all welcome.
Yep.
Now I need Kupp to do something for me so that I can bring Jesse down as well. Give me the Rams.
How do we feel about the elephant trunk celebration where they do like the, do we like? I
like different celebrations.
It's a Cam Ward special. I'm a big Cam Ward guy.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. This is tough. I feel like the Jets could hang around in this one.
Doesn't make sense.
I'm gonna take the Jets to maybe lose by a field goal, like a last second field goal by Cardi. I could see Stafford getting them down the field in 30, 45 seconds. And Rodgers looking really, really disappointed.
People forget how bad this Jets defense is since their head coach left. Sauce Gardner looks ass. Their defensive line is not great.
Yeah,
I'm taking the Jets.
It's also kind of interesting. The Jets were +3 last week against the Jaguars, and now they're +3 at home against the Rams. Was it in Jacksonville? I should have looked. Yeah, in Jacksonville, and now at home. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
I mean, we all know who I'm on. So,
all right, moving along.
No, the Rams, dog.
Oh, okay. Arizona at Carolina +4.5.
So I jumped the gun last week. Picked Carolina the first week that they were favorites in like 33 straight weeks. My bad. But Vegas shut the door on that really quick. And now we're back to +4.5 against an Arizona team that's, they need a res, as Kyler would say. Let me get a res, dog. Double XP week has turned into triple we suck. I don't know where I was going with that, but they're just not. They're not looking like the same team that they had been earlier in the year. And obviously, turn things around a little bit here. I like 4.5 for them at home. Give me the Panthers to bounce back a little bit and keep it close against Arizona.
Yeah.
Is this at all because you want the Bears to have a higher potential draft pick next year?
Sure, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Hadn't thought about it.
Not that it matters.
Double XP weekend was last weekend. So funny that you should bring that up. And I want to pick against Kyler for that reason here. And Panthers have shown some signs of life under Bryce Young, which is absurd to say. And when I say it, I just can't rationalize it in my brain. So I think Kyler on the road, The long road trips was disproven by Tampa Bay and San Francisco. I think it
That
was
was
called out
looking
by
at
the
those.
podcast. They said, long road trip, who cares?
There's no merit to those.
Yep. So, yeah.
Well, we need to look at the long-term data, though. We just might be skewed. We need to.
We'll get around to that. We'll get around to that at some point or another.
4.5. 4.5. Carolina.
Jesse?
Yeah. Cardinals 1-3 since the new COD dropped.
Guys.
I've kind of got my finger on the pulse of Carolina, and I like them this week.
Good. Tom?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the Cardinals. I still think they're a good squad, and they're still in the playoff hunt as of right now, right? Barely.
They need
Tom. You and I have been on the same side every game except for this one in Baltimore, Pittsburgh.
Really?
So I'm not going to make up any ground if you and I keep picking the same.
Yeah.
So
How many weeks are in the NFL? 18.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll pick the Cardinals here. I kind of believe in them this week.
The Cardinals have an 11% chance to make the playoffs.
I think Kyler might harness his Call of Duty energy and have 4 touchdowns.
He's about to squad like these fucking dog water.
Yeah. No, I just think I think a touchdown's doable for them.
All right. New York Giants at Atlanta, -8.5. The Michael Penix led Falcons.
Give me the Falcons, baby. I think that Penix is going to be running a little bit, and they got to be. They're not going to come. They're not going to be accustomed to that, and he's going to run for like 50 yards along with Bijan, and I think they get it done that way, and their defense steps up. I'm a believer. I think Penix is good. I like watching him in college.
I don't know what to make of this one. Kind of surprised to see Atlanta getting 8.5 points.
Right.
I mean,
wait, what's the spread?
Atlanta -8.5.
What?
Luke said they were getting 8.5.
Baltimore covered 16.5 on them last week, guys. So
this is a completely different team.
Yeah, it's just interesting though. I mean, Kirk, granted, he did not play well against the Raiders, but on that game, they had the opportunity to start Penix any of the previous, 4 weeks. Kirk hasn't been playing well for quite a while, and they're electing to make this switch following a win against the Raiders. I don't know. Obviously,
you saying they see something? They saw something at practice?
They're looking for a spark, I guess. And maybe they see a softer opponent here in the Giants as an opportunity for him to come in and kind of soft launch, so to speak. But yeah, Jesse, I mean, you bring up a good point. Lost 35-14 last week against Baltimore. Looking at the previous games, you had a loss against the Saints by 3, Dallas by 7, Tampa Bay by 23, Carolina by 3. I don't know. They've played some close games. They've also, been blown out a couple times, but they were going against the teams that they seem like they should be close against. It seems like they've played those games close. So give me the Giants to keep it close.
Okay. The Giants are 1-8 against spread in the last 9 games. That one coming against the Saints just the week before last. Tank for Shador in full force. Tank for Shador, baby. Yeah, I like Penix as well. I think he's going to add some juice to this Atlanta offense, which honestly should be much more high powered than what we've seen the last 5-6 weeks with Kirk. I don't think it's close. I like Atlanta.
I worry about his passing ability.
His passing ability is his best ability.
Against a
betting trends are very tight on this game. 46% of the bets, 51% of the money on the Falcons on the spread here.
That's too big. I don't get it. If this were 6.5, 7, I think I'd take it.
I just think the spread is what it is because the Giants have completely given up as an organization.
They're a lot like the Bears right now.
Okay, so you're on Atlanta then.
Yeah, and I'm also changing to Arizona against Carolina. I'm going with Arizona. I'm all over the place today.
You fool. Tennessee at Indianapolis, divisional matchup that is going to be for absolutely nothing. Indianapolis minus 3.5 points.
Mason Rudolph getting a start here. They've officially moved away from Levis again. That's the second time this year that they've done that. I think it might have been a little bit more of a result of injury earlier this year. Now it's just like, dude, stop. Like we can't take this shit anymore. He's just, I don't know. Maybe he needs like the Jameis. Well, actually, that's not a good example. I was going to say Jameis LASIK scenario, get the fixed, maybe start seeing better. He just does inexplicable shit. That's just like, dude, lay off the mayo, right? Indy, I'll be here home. I think Jonathan Taylor is going to redeem himself, have a big game for himself, for his team, and for me. So I'm picking with a lot of interest in my fantasy team this week. Could come back to bite me in the ass. But obviously Taylor did have that kind of hold to Deshaun last week. Jackson couldn't quite get across the goal line with the ball. I just don't understand how that happens, but he's a great player, and he's been slightly underutilized this year with the Colts. So give me the Colts at home against a very, very bad Tennessee team.
Guess what Anthony Richardson's passer rating is?
6.
Last week.
7. 8.
36.3.
Damn.
Pretty bad. I think Mason Rudolph played well last week when he came in.
Mason Rudolph bump?
But my mind is telling me to pick Indianapolis here.
3.5.
Take Tennessee, Tom.
Yeah, I'll do it for the sake of it's a split. It's a split here. I don't love this pick, but I'm going to do it.
The public thinks it's a split as well. Very split.
Don't let me talk you out of it. Tennessee's 2-12 against the spread. Indy's 8-6.
All right, I'm going Indy then. I think
Indy is also 1-5 against the spread in the last 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
And the bets are basically split down the middle on the spread in this game, just like the last one. A little tiny smidge in favor of Indianapolis here.
Home. I gotta go that. Yeah.
I think this might be one where Vegas makes a little bit in the margins. I'm gonna go with Tennessee.
Wow. I believe Indy's still in the hunt, right? I think they're
6-8. They're in the 8th spot in the AFC. They're 6-8, and the Chargers are in the 7th spot ahead of them at 8-6. So
doesn't it seem like the Colts have been just so bad and they're still in the hunt?
It's unlikely. The Bengals and the Dolphins are right there at 6-8 with the Colts. So you got to think if one of those three teams is going to pull it off, it's probably Cincinnati, not Indianapolis. But again, the Broncos need to lose the next three games.
Wargo, what do you think in this one?
Yeah, I'm thinking the Colts for a lot of reasons. Maybe the case that Tennessee just gives up. I also am really thinking about fading myself here and taking Tennessee with Mason Rudolph at the helm. Yeah, but that against the spread number is just crazy. Even with the Titans, one of the last five. Yeah, they're 2-12 against the spread. Yeah, I'll take the Colts. Sure, they got more to play for.
All right.
Tom, are you on? Did you switch? Or are you on Tennessee?
Yeah. No, I'm on Indianapolis.
And Jonathan Taylor's got to make up.
I'm the only one on
his
Tennessee.
mistake.
Yeah, I think that the home got me. I got to go home team here.
Remember when Jonathan Taylor fumbled at the 1? I do.
All right, next game, Minnesota at Seattle +3.
I like Minnesota here for kind of the same reason I had touched on with the Philly-Washington game. I think Minnesota is also right there with an opportunity to get the number 1 seed in the NFC. Home field advantage throughout the playoffs is a huge benefit to a lot of teams, and I think Minnesota would be a team specifically that would benefit from that. I feel like they have a great home field advantage in terms of the crowd in Minnesota, and I think that they're fast on that indoor field. Seattle seems like they might be slipping a little bit here. If Geno is dinged up, which was at the end of that game last week, Sam Howell, holy shit, he looked like he had never seen a football before. It was like what was going on. So if anything is re-aggravated or flares up, I really do not like Seattle's chances in the game. As of right now, based on where the line's at, I would assume Geno is expected to play. I would assume Kenneth Walker is coming back for this game as well. He's been out the last 2, and based on what I'd seen with Charbonnet's fantasy projections this week, it looks like they're back down to normal numbers. So in my mind, that means Walker's coming back. So regardless, if those two play, I still like Minnesota here. I'm going to go Minnesota on the road.
I'm looking at this NFC playoff picture.
Mm-hmm.
7 spots up for grabs. Basically, everything else locked up here. 7th spot is currently held by Washington Commanders. The next team is the Seattle Seahawks. And then you've got Atlanta, Arizona at 7-7. I feel like out of those teams, the one that I kind of see as the most kind of veteran, able to win these late games later in the year and more gritty is this Seahawks team. I don't think that, the Vikings have had a great year, but I don't think they're in, 1 seed. Like they don't deserve to be there.
Oh, wow.
So I'm gonna go with Seattle at home, even though they just got dog walked by the Packers at home. I think they played 2 different brands of football, the Packers and the Vikings. I like Seattle through the air this week. Smith and Jigba, Metcalf. I think they both have big games, so I'm going to go with Seattle.
Seattle's been all over the place this year. They lost to the Giants. I don't know, man. I feel like I want to pick Seahawks.
They're your team, Tom.
I know. It's
And
supposed to be rainy, very rainy.
You picked against them last week, and you got that
very
right.
Rainy. Very rainy.
Remember, you don't want to pick based off of what happened last week, Tom. Remember.
I know, but I think I'm going to pick Minnesota here. They have a lot more weapons than I thought. I thought at first it was just Justin Jefferson. Now it's like they got some people. And
Aaron Jones, I don't know if it was a result of just the Bears being trash, but Aaron Jones looked like old Aaron Jones last week against the Bears.
Let's go.
We
need it again this week.
Yeah. The long third downs that they converted on the Bears just was like, what? How does that happen? Time after time after time. Aaron Jones did the same thing when he played us the first time. It was a 3rd and 13, and he ran across the field, 5-yard out, just got it, and just no one was there. Wait,
downfield screen.
First down. Yeah, I don't know. Something tell me to pick Minnesota here.
Okay, Wargo.
12th man Seahawks. Yeah,
let's go. New England at Buffalo -14. Wargo, kick us off on this one, will you?
Yeah, this is. I wonder why you asked me to start with this one. Is this by chance the biggest spread of the week?
We've got another 14-pointer on Monday Night Football.
I can't wait. Yeah, it's got to be the Bills. I mean, I've seen a lot of good things with Drake May and the Patriots. Ramondre Stevenson is not one of those things, but serviceable, you might say. But the Bills are just, firing on all cylinders. They might demolish the Patriots. I don't want to see them after this game. It's going to be bad.
Yeah, it's at the Bills. Bills have scored. We talk about Kansas City not scoring over 30 points. The Bills have scored 48, 42, 35, 30, 30, 30, 31, 34.
Wow.
The Patriots, I would say, have not scored that much. I'm just going out on the limb there, but the Bills, 14 seems reasonable. Maybe like 34-14.
I appreciate you running through those scores because obviously it feels that way, but sometimes the way it feels in your mind isn't always the way it aligns with the real life numbers. But what Tom had just mentioned completely backs that feel factor up. So I'm going to go with the Bills here as well. Points just come very easy to this team right now, and
Super Bowl. I think they're going to win it.
I don't think New England can keep them.
Divisional matchup. And not only do the Bills play the Patriots this week, they also play them again in Week 18.
Oh.
So they go Patriots, Jets, Patriots.
Well, they'll beat them by 14 this week, and then maybe
divisional games to end the year.
Did you say 3? No, 3 home games.
No, 3 divisional games.
Divisional, yeah. Yeah, you're going with the Bills here.
Should I?
I mean, if you want to get the pick right.
Hold on, let me see. What have the Patriots been doing? Not good. Yeah, I'll take the Bills. I can't play devil's advocate on that one.
Couple pick'ems here coming up. If I'm on the same page as Jesse,
yeah.
We got next.
San Fran at Miami -1.
McDaniels versus Shanahan. What's up, Sam? Do these guys not like? Is Shanahan not the coach that we thought he was? Like, it seems like there's some friction going on there. this Devondre Campbell stuff happening last week. I think it was last week.
That was crazy.
I just don't think these guys in San Francisco can handle losing. They just have gotten so used to being in the driving seat at this point in the season that now that they're 6-8 on the outside looking in, they don't know how to act.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I saw something brought up earlier this week as it relates to just kind of the stamina that's required from a team perspective to play late into the playoffs every single year. After 2 or 3 years, you're playing a half a season more than the other teams in the league. And that can start to wear on you. And maybe we've seen a little bit of that this year with, some of the injuries for San Francisco. And I think from a mental standpoint, you bring up a good point, Jesse, in the sense that, maybe some of these guys they just don't know what it's like to be on a team that's just not everything's clicking all the time. With that being said, I don't love where the Dolphins are at the moment. When Tua came back, they were rolling a little bit there for a minute, but then kind of slipped up in the last 2 or 3 games, having lost to Green Bay and Houston in that stretch, and then beat the Jets. That game was close, closer than I think I was expecting. The Jets covered in that game. So I think San Francisco they've got less than a 1% chance right now. The Dolphins, with a win, they're looking at 11% chance of still being able to make the playoffs. Give me McDaniels. And the Dolphins.
I thought you were going to go the other way.
I didn't. I honestly, I said it, I didn't know what I was going to say.
I'm looking at it as just like, I kind of want to pick the 49ers, but then they haven't been scoring a lot of points.
They did against the Bears.
Okay. But
Mike McDaniel, by the way, no S. I'm sorry, Mike. My bad.
I don't know.
Sorry, Mike.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to go Miami here as well.
Yeah, San Fran 1-6 or 1-5 against the spread in the last 6 games. The Niners, they've got guys walking off the field. Dolphins.
Also, all-time petty move. Not really petty because he kind of deserves it, but they suspended him 3 games with no intention of bringing him back afterwards, just so he couldn't sign with another team. Is just so, like, I love it. I love that. And you can't walk off. You can't. You do not walk off on your team. That, like, those are your brothers in there. You can't. I mean, I don't know what's happening in the locker room. It could be an ultra toxic environment, but it seemed like he was upset that a guy who was number 1 and started for the team came back from injury and was ready to play, and he had to take a step back. Then when that guy gets hurt, and they're like, "Okay, you're back in," you don't want to go in anymore. It's just, I would, if I were running that organization, I'd do everything in my power to screw things up for him as well. So I like that move.
I was gonna take Miami, but I didn't pull the trigger on New England in that last game, so I'm gonna pull it here on San Fran, and I'm gonna be with the public too. 77% of the money coming in on the Niners on the spread here.
Probably because they saw how bad Tua played last week.
I don't know, Tom. Something. They saw something.
Something.
Bang, bang, Niner gang.
All right.
Jacksonville at Las Vegas -1.
Las Vegas. Is Aiden O'Connell back? Did he break his arm? He broke his arm.
Yeah, Aiden O'Connell is back.
Is he?
He is in the quarterback comparison on PFF.
Mike Crosby's out. Wait, no, that's not.
Who did you have in the last game?
Mike Crosby.
What's his name? Jim?
No. Oh, I wanted to hear him say Milton.
All right, this is really weird. All right, betting trends for this game: 77% of the money is coming in on the Jags on the spread. 88% of the money is coming in on the Raiders on the money line. How is that even possible?
It's got. I mean, it's got to be due to the fact that there isn't really no spread. I mean, it's got to be the fact that this is basically a pick 'em. If you go back and look at the San Francisco-Miami game, where the numbers kind of look wonky there too, if you look at the same metrics.
But it's still flip-flopped.
No, I get that, but I mean, if you are electing to go with Jacksonville at +1, like it's a lot easier to just say, fuck. I mean, if I'm going to take him +1, I'm going to take him. I'm going to take money here. So if you're, like it's. Am I making sense? This makes sense to me. I feel like you'd be more likely to see numbers like this in terms of you.
It's got to have something to do with the odds.
Like this is one of those games where +1 as opposed to being like normally 122 is like 105.
So
like slightly better odds on +1.
So the market money line on PFF is -101 on the Jaguars and -118, and then the spread's -110. So if you're taking the Jaguars, you take them on the money line. Conversely to what you said, and then if you're taking the Raiders, then you just bet -110, better than -118. But the spread has 77% on Jacksonville, and the money line has 88% on Vegas. So logic has failed me.
I'm taking the Raiders.
Yeah.
Okay. Borgo, you're on the Raiders as well.
I'm not gonna ride with Mac Jones. It's just not something I'm made out to do.
Have the Jaguars won at all lately?
They're
They're 7-6-1 against the spread.
I'm going Jacksonville. Give me Jacksonville.
Yeah.
No way.
I don't hate that, Luke.
Stop picking with me. Stop picking with me.
I already picked the Raiders.
Wait, you are on the Raiders?
Yeah, I already picked the Raiders.
Oh, I missed that.
Me too.
Yeah.
It was right in the beginning. I said, I don't know what I said, but it was right in the beginning.
You said something about Mark Crosby.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds right, doesn't it?
Jaguars do cover the spread.
We all picked.
We got Sunday Night Football. Tampa Bay at Dallas +4.
Who you got, big dog? Jets?
I like Tampa Bay.
Believer.
Baker. Yeah, Baker believer. I mean, I don't know why I ever pick against him like I did last week. That was foolish. They absolutely, they played really well against the Chargers in LA. And he's doing it without Chris Godwin. Jalen McMillan is really stepping up, and their defense is, I think, playing a lot better than most people have expected. Dallas is playing better as well, so I will give it to them, but I think it's a little too late. I think Tampa Bay, they're kind of one of those more veteran teams as well that knows how to win these games at the end of the year to put themselves in a position to be successful going into the playoffs. So I'm gonna take them in this Sunday Night Football game, even though it's in Dallas. That that's a little scary. In a primetime game, coming in on the road and covering is difficult, but I think if anybody can do it, it's Baker and the Bucs here.
Yeah, it's tough. 4 points at home for the Cowboys. They have been showing some signs of life here. I don't know. Tampa Bay, they've just been playing so well, so it is hard to pick against them. But I could just see some kind of pre-Christmas shenanigans. Nope. I'm not going to talk myself into it. I'm going to ride with Jesse. Bucks.
I too am on the Bucks.
I like to pick them boys, and they've been covering for me.
They're playing the best ball. Even with the injuries that they had, they still were like competitive. And now like Mike Evans looks great out there, and Baker throwing dimes. I don't know if Bucky Irving played last week, but like that tandem they got there with Bucky Irving and the other running back, I mean, they can compete with anybody in the league. And to say that they can't beat a Dallas team by 4 points that has been asked most of the year, I'm just gonna bet on the Bucs.
I agree with part of what you just said, Tom, in that they can play with anybody in the league. I do think that. I think they might be.
They've been a little bit up and down.
I think they might be due for a little bit of slippage here, only because that was a big win last week against the Chargers, and they pretty much, even with a loss this week for the Bucs, they still have a 65% chance of making it in, right? So I think you could see them take their foot off the gas a little bit. That might not even mean that they lose this game, but we could see a close one here with Dallas playing for pride at home towards the end of the year. Technically, they are not eliminated from playoff contention yet. They're not going to make the playoffs. That's not what I'm trying to say. But I do think as a home dog getting 4 points, I'm going to go with Dallas here. Try and pick one up.
What do you think of that pick, Tom?
I don't like it. I still think Dallas is trash, even though they've been playing better. The defense has been stepping up, but yeah, I mean,
All right.
It's his pick,
New Orleans at Green Bay -14.
It's like every week we start off our New Orleans preview pick, whatever, with just going, who's quarterback? Who's the quarterback? And it's just
But we know.
You just don't.
It's not.
I would assume it's going to be Rattler. I heard Jake.
Yeah, that is correct.
While he was in the game last week. So, yeah, even with Rattler, I think I'm still going to go with Green Bay here. At Lambeau late in the year. Saints been playing in a dome. This is different. This is late season Packers, they're a different team. They just play ball down the stretch when it starts to get cold outside. So I'll take Green Bay.
There is a Alberta Clipper or a Saskatchewan Screamer, whatever you want to call it. There is a storm system coming.
Cleveland Steamer.
I think the other one's Manitoba or whatever. There's 3 Clipper systems in the weather world. I don't know which one this is, but there is Green Bay's expected a few inches of snow. I don't know when here, but I think there's like a 50-50 shot of some snow showers, and it's going to be cold.
Saskatchewan Screamer is
Saskatchewan Screamer is dope. I love that one.
Yeah, that is a hockey player.
And I think it's wherever the low comes out of is what it's named. But same thing. They're all the same thing. Quick hit snow showers with some wind. The wind. I gotta check the forecast on the wind. 14 points seems a lot based on maybe some snow or some cold and some wind.
You like the Saints?
I didn't say that, but 14 seems like a lot, doesn't it?
You implied it. You implied
right.
it.
Well, here's the banger here. The Saints are, I would say, probably maybe low 7 in the league at stopping the run. I would say they're probably on the very low end of the league, right?
6-8 against the spread this year.
No. Josh Jacobs is going to run a train on them if it is bad weather. So either way, in my opinion here, it seems like they could win by 14.
Josh Jacobs going to run a train on the Saints.
Josh Naylor, first baseman for the Cleveland Indians, the Mississauga Masher.
Woo! Here we go.
I'm going with Green Bay.
Yeah, I mean, 14 points is a lot in a snowy game.
Wait. 50-50 snow shot. I personally believe that it's going to snow before.
Are you convicted in your weather forecast or not, Tom? I need to know.
I'm just saying.
Second to last in run defense score on PFF. So you're almost correct.
What is it?
The Saints are second to last in run defense.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Hell yeah. I thought I saw that somewhere.
Okay, so Packers then. Yeah.
Okay.
I need to clean up my forecast. I'm sorry.
Christmas games
left. Yeah, Christmas games here. Kansas City at Pittsburgh plus 2.5.
NFL hooking us up here, giving us some watchable games on Christmas.
We'll see if Netflix can handle it.
Both of these games are going to be exclusive to Netflix, which is they're going to screw it. And then they're going to play it off like nothing happened, just like they did Tyson Paul fight that nobody could watch, and it was just a disaster. Mariah she's upset about it. Mariah is a big football watcher, and she will be pissed off when this game is not coming through clearly on Christmas Day. Pittsburgh at home. Home dogs against KC. I think by that time, I'm just going to assume that maybe they're going to play with one hand behind their back on Saturday against Baltimore. Maybe be dealing with some lingering issues injury-wise, and maybe they say, hey, this is a quick turnaround here. We've got this Christmas Day game against Kansas City coming up. Maybe we, let our guys get some rest, and then we get them ready for this KC game. I don't know. Maybe they go the opposite way, considering this is a division game on Saturday. We'll rest them for the KC game on Christmas. I don't know what they're thinking. Not giving up on Pittsburgh at the moment, and I think I like them. Like their matchup against KC a little bit better than I do against Baltimore right now, just because Baltimore feel like they can put some points on the board. That has not been Kansas City's strength thus far this year. They've been playing close games and on the road against Pittsburgh with the wonky schedule works both way or works against both teams. So Kansas City going on the road, for Christmas Day game, I'll take Pittsburgh here to cover home.
I'm also going to pick Pittsburgh.
Crazy.
I picked them earlier, and now I'm going to pick them again. I just like that. I like that. I could not get them in the first slot, get them in this slot. You're
going to get them in both slots.
Or I'm going to get them in both slots. Also, I just did a little bit of research, and I am stupid. And hand up for not looking at the forecast before I just come on here and blurt some crap out. There is a Clipper system coming through.
Uh-oh.
It's tomorrow, man. It's tomorrow, and a Clipper, by the time Sunday rolls around, it's going to be out of here. Okay? And I think it's supposed to snow on Monday there also. So I was wrong.
Snow could
Well,
come early.
that is the Monday night game.
Oh, really?
New Orleans at Green Bay Monday night.
Woo! Well then,
We've got a Clipper inbound.
still I was wrong because I don't think it's classified as a Clipper. The Clipper system's already coming through.
Talked about it. The Saskatchewan Screamer.
Just stupid. Maybe this is the Manitoba Mauler coming through. I don't know.
I'm going to take Kansas City in the Christmas Day game in Pittsburgh. This isn't a divisional game, and that's kind of why I liked Pittsburgh against Baltimore. But Kansas City, they've been figuring out ways to win these close games all year. I think Kansas City's defense is really going to give Pittsburgh's offense some trouble. So I think they may have some difficulty putting points on the board, and Mahomes and Kelsey and Hopkins and Worthy get enough firepower going to get in the end zone a couple times and cover the spread. So I'll take them in this one.
I don't like that I'm on a lot of the favorites this week.
You just picked
Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's underdog.
I know, but just looking at the whole as a whole.
Change some picks. Get off my side. I gotta make up some.
Morgo, who are you picking here?
Yeah, I'll take Pitt. Yeah, I like Pitt.
Other than Pittsburgh, the only other underdog Tom took was Pittsburgh against Baltimore.
Look, we have 6 games that we didn't pick the same.
You're taking Pitt. We're good.
Yes, sir.
All right, Baltimore at Houston. This is another Christmas Day game. Plus 2.5 points here.
I took Kansas City against Houston on Saturday. I think I'm going to take Baltimore again here. I think that Baltimore could make a push at the end of the year. Their defensive roster, they've got some names on defense still. They're third in run defensive score via PFF. Don't have a great as good of a pass rush score as I think they've had in recent years. And then the coverage grade is not superb, but it's not bottom half. It's kind of middle of the pack. I think that they're probably trending in the right direction defensively, and then I think where it's Derrick Henry season, like it's about to get just very difficult coming down the stretch here for some of these teams that have gone through a full season pretty much at this point, and the last thing you want to see when your body is worn down and you're maybe not there 100% mentally is Derrick Henry coming downhill at you. I'm going to go with Baltimore on the road. Quick turn.
Works?
Yeah, it's got to be Baltimore here. Houston. Did Houston lose to Carolina?
I don't think
I'm an idiot. I think I'm thinking of another team. Houston's just not good. It was Washington I was thinking of.
I don't know if they say they're not good, but I just like where Baltimore's at.
I know. I did pump their tires earlier when I picked them with Joe Mixon and CJ Stroud and everything. Nico Collins.
He goes, they're not good.
Yeah, I don't know why I said that. I don't know why I said that. I clearly don't know what I'm talking about or what I'm doing here. Give me the Texans. Fuck it.
I'm with you, Works. I think Houston at home.
Fade myself.
I'm not picking Baltimore twice, which is stupid, but
yeah. No,
Yeah,
I don't think it's. I don't know. It's
I like
whatever.
Houston too.
Whoa.
Lamar
Ooh,
Lamar's gonna shrink in this primetime Christmas Day game in Houston.
Always does.
Baltimore's 11-3 on over-unders. 11 overs, 3 unders for Baltimore, and the line in this game is currently 47.5. Could see some points. Could see some points here. So Nico and Joe Mixon get hot. It could be
but also you see what the Texans are doing on over-unders?
they're the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I get that, but this,
5 overs.
I get that, but their offense is not lacking, the guys to put up some points. So
Fair enough. Final game, Thursday, December 26th, Boxing Day. Seattle at Chicago, +1.5. I'm going to take Seattle. I think if they pull this game off against Minnesota, this game against Chicago means something for them. And I'm expecting Chicago to play well against Detroit, which means that I think they're probably going to fall off again in the next game against Seattle. So there's a lot going on there, but Seattle.
I am picking Chicago for the opposite. Just reverse everything Jesse just said, and that's what I think. Seattle plays well against Minnesota. I think Seattle loses against Minnesota, and I think that they continue to slide against Chicago and the Rams with the NFC West at the end of the year.
I still think the Rams win the NFC West, but I see Seattle making this in the last spot in the wild card and knocking Washington out.
Okay, yeah, I'm switching. Fuck the Bears. I'm going with Seattle.
Give me the Hawks as well. You switch. It's not my fault. But go!
Seahawk is a fictional bird, so I guess we could say that is the sound that it makes.
Yeah.
Seems odd for a Seahawk to make a caw sound, but
yeah, it was more like a hawk.
I don't know. It's not like I'm putting together a season. Neither are the Bears. I can see them screwing themselves and getting a higher draft pick in this game.
Oh yeah,
some dumb shit that the Bears would do. So, yeah, I'll ride on the Bears here. Why not?
Not bad.
All right, a lot of games to choose locks from.
Should we go 2 locks?
I feel like we should keep. Because
Just do one.
Technically week 17 that we're picking on too.
We'll just do 1.
Yeah.
Excluding the last 3 games.
I mean, if you want to choose one of the Christmas games or the Boxing Day game, as Jesse had put it, as your week 17 lock, I suppose you could do that.
What is a Boxing Day game? Is it because of people are? Oh, I get it. Wait, let me try to hatch this one out. It's because it's after Christmas. People are putting stuff in boxes to return.
I don't know if the latter part of that.
Or is it giving? Is it a thing of giving?
I think boxing up your decor.
Like the UK and Canada, maybe that's like they give presents in boxes, so it's called Boxing Day.
I immediately go to a dog for some reason.
They just beat the ever living dog shit out of each other.
Boxing Day in Great Britain and some Commonwealth countries, particularly Australia, Canada, and New Zealand, on which servants, tradespeople, and the poor traditionally were presented with gifts. So all the gifts that the rich people got on Christmas that they didn't want, they were like...
They give them like their like fudge with like nuts in it. And they're like, oh, you guys hanging on shoes. Here's some,
It's tough.
peanut brittle.
I'm going to do my pick of the week is the Los Angeles Rams against the Jets.
I'm taking Philly.
You silly Philly. Why can't I find that game? Oh, here it is. Jesse like Philly.
I'm gonna put
Can
my
we
stake
vote?
on you there, Jesse. I like Philly as well. That's a good one.
I was just about to say, can multiple people pick the same lock?
Of course.
I kind of like Philly too. But I'm not gonna do that. That's weak.
I could go for Buffalo.
Buffalo Bills.
I'm gonna stick with Philly. Give me Buffalo at home. Actually, yeah, I'll move off there. You can get on them.
All right.
Who were you on in Minnesota?
Seattle,
He was
Minnesota. I'm on Seattle.
Seattle, yeah.
Okay. I think I'm gonna go with Indy at home, 3.5 over Titans.
I was looking at that one as well.
Big mistake.
Huge.
Mason Rudolph. Look out, folks.
There you have it,
And
folks.
Yeah, Jesse, go ahead. Close us
Week
out.
16, picks against the spread. Christmas edition. Just kidding.
J-I-N-G-L-E.
Peasants out there.
Now Tom's going to sing Jingle Bells to close us out.
I don't know the rest of the song. J-I-N-G-L-E bell. Take it away. Thanks for watching, y'all.
Yeah,
We'll have a great-
appreciate you tuning in. Check out the X page. Leave some comments. Leave some remarks.
I'm sure we'll be posting on it.
And we'll see you next time. Until then, bear down.